Okay, so now you've got the resumes, you've screened them, and it's time to do the interview. And as the old saying goes, God gave you one mouth and two ears, and you're supposed to use them in that proportion. And I don't know that it's ever more true than in the interview process. The mistake that I've made time and time again is I talk too much during the interview. I've gotten a lot better at that now, and I've designed a list of questions that I always ask every candidate when I'm interviewing them. I want to give you 4 of them, and I use these questions still to this day, and I think that they're just solid, tried and true questions that you want to be asking on an interview. Number 1, what is the biggest mistake that you've ever made in business, and what did you learn from it? And then just shut up and listen. What you're going to find from that question is that people are going to show you whether they're resourceful or not. You're going to get an understanding whether or not they're honest, whether they're humble. What did you learn from it is the key part. You get to see if this is the kind of a person that's a problem solver, or do they just blame everybody else for the problems that they have? We've all had employees like that. Second question, what is it about your company that makes you want to work here? What is it about our company that makes you want to work here? This gives you an opportunity to see if this person is real serious about this job. Did they do the research on your company? Did they Google you? Did they find out about your industry? Did they come prepared for the interview? I'll tell you, when they can't answer this question, when I stump them with this question, it's pretty tough to get me to move forward in the interview. I'm pretty much done. Because they didn't come showing me that they're serious, and that kind of is a green, a red flag, I should say, that when we hire this person, there are going to be problems and they're not going to be prepared to execute their job. Why do you want to leave your current job, and why did you leave the last one? 2 reasons for asking this question. Number 1 is I always like to see if there's a pattern. Is it always everybody else's fault? Or did you make some mistakes? Are you being honest with me about it? And number 2 is I want to make sure this matches up when I do the reference checks. Is the story the same? Or is it greatly different? And if it is, that's usually another red flag. And then lastly is, what will you bring to the table that will make you valuable to our organization? What will you bring to the table that will make you valuable to our organization? And this is, of course, their opportunity to sell themselves to you, to show their passion and enthusiasm and excitement, to show whether or not they have confidence in themselves and beliefs in their talents and their abilities. Those are just 4 questions. So you've gone through the interview process. You make the hire. It just ends there, right? I mean, that's it. The person comes aboard and everything's nirvana. No, that's just where the fun begins, because then it's just all about team culture. And this is the thing that I'm most passionate about. At this stage of my business career, is the number 1 thing I focus on every day. In fact, I just would like to take the opportunity to explain something a little bit further. I mean, I'll give you an idea as to how passionate we are about this. There are 30 people in Westlake Village, California right now. So, sorry, I'm going to get a little choked up here. That are holding up the fort for us. And they are here with us in spirit, and we miss them, and we wanted to let them know as they're watching, because we webcasted this back to our office, this event, because we realize how important culture is, and we didn't want to have a cultural disconnect. We didn't want those 30 people that had to be left behind to run the company to not be able to experience what we're all experiencing here as a team. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being there for us. It's the glue, gang. It's the glue. They spend more of their waking hours with you than their own family. It's the glue, the culture. It better be fun. If it is not fun, then why should they get up in the morning? Why should they continue to want to work for you? And what about their family? Oh my God, the sacrifices that they make for their spouse to work those extra hours of overtime, your processors during those busy times, they stay late for you. Do you ever take the time to thank their spouse? You ever take the time to thank their children? That's time away from them. Don't underestimate that, because guess what? When they go home after a hard day of work and they sit down at that kitchen table and they look across that table at their spouse, that spouse is either your friend as the employer or your enemy. And when they've had a tough day and they're bitching and griping and complaining about how hard it was, and they start to say how, you know what, he or she doesn't appreciate me, that spouse is either there by your side saying, oh, come on, hold on a minute. Think about all the nice things that he or she has done for you. They care. They care. They take care of you. I know you had a tough day. Or are they on the other side of the table saying, you know what, you're right. Get your resume out there and start looking for more money. Think about it. That's why we make sure we pay special attention to the families and spouses of the employees that work for us. Heck, man, I mean, it's their life. So here are some things that we do to team build, to culture build. Never forget about the family, number one. Here's some ideas of some things. This is one of the things that Eric Mitchell just did with his team. I hear that they had a great time, something that I did a couple of times with my team. I'm looking at Lisa, she remembers this. One time during the holidays, I went and bought walkie-talkies. And I surprised everyone on my team. Mary and Tina are in the room. They're on my team. They remember this. Went up to the outlets in Camarillo. They didn't know where we were going. I gave everybody a walkie-talkie, and I said, you each have $250 to spend to buy your holiday gifts for yourself. The only rule is this. You have 2 hours to spend the $250, and you must buy things for you. Anytime you have something that you need me to come pay for, I just simply want you to take out that walkie-talkie and go, oh, Tim, I need your credit card. And I'll come running through the parking lot, and I'll pay for that with my Amex for you. Fun, fun day. Creates a memory. Shows that you care. Movie night. We've been doing this a lot lately. A couple of times we took big groups of people from our company to the movies. Of course, we invite the spouses to join as well. Pick a movie that sounds like a good movie that everybody would like and get together. Gang, if you're thinking, oh, I only have one employee, hey, it's still the same. You still got to care for that employee, maybe even more so. Remember, you're the HR director for your own company. MySpace, this is a new thing we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to launch this first of the year. We have an intranet within our company. And we realize, now that we're up to like 75 employees for Loan Toolbox, it's pretty intimidating when you get hired to come work with our firm. We have a couple of new coaches from Maximum Acceleration here as an example. I mean, this is their first indoctrination to Loan Toolbox, and they don't know any of these people. And it can be intimidating. It can be like the outsider looking in. So we said, why don't we have a MySpace type concept in our intranet? Put the photos of every one of our employees and then allow them to share whatever personal information they have about themselves. So when a new employee comes into the company, they can read through these bios and the hobbies and how many kids they have and how old the kids are and all those types of things so they can find common denominators. Oh, this person went to the same college as me, or that person has a child the same age as mine. And you can immediately bond and find somebody close to you that you want to work with. Day spa and facials. Been doing this for years. When times get tough, one of the best things to do for your processor who's stressed out is you just get them a facial or get them a massage. Just drop off a gift certificate on their desk and just say thank you. Take off an hour earlier today and go get yourself a massage. Really nice message to be sending. Cash in the envelope is my favorite. I think it has the greatest impact. There's nothing like coming in, looking at your computer keyboard and saying, what's this little white thing sticking out from the bottom of my keyboard? And you pull it and it's an envelope and you open it up and there's 2 Ben Franklins in it. 2 $100 bills with a Post-it note on it that just says, I just wanted you to know how much I appreciate you, Tim. That's wow. And it's saying the right thing. It's sending the right message to the person, that you care, and you care enough to take the time to do that. Car washes and house cleaner. Man, when things got tough in 2001, 2, and 3, and we were smoking busy, I was going home late one night, and my team had just left as well, and I thought to myself, God, they have to clean their house and get their car washed every weekend. And I'd imagine that they relish and cherish their weekends as much as I do. Small price for me to pay to just get them a car wash once a week or twice a month to have a housekeeper come by their apartment and clean their house. It's like $50 twice a month. So it's like $100 a month to have them not have to do that themselves. And the loyalty that you get and the message you send is impactful. Last 2 things are the beach party in Disneyland. And I'll wrap it up. We have a beach party every year. We're fortunate to be close to the beach. We rent out the beach in front of a place called Gladstone's in Malibu. Invite the kids, spouses, cater it all out, play volleyball, have a great time on the beach. And then last thing is Disneyland. Every year, we take the entire company and their family, of course, to Disneyland to enjoy a long day together. But gang, this stuff is just so important. So important. I mean, these are the people that get you to the finish line. That's how important it is. And without them, you'll never get there. You'll never get to the top of the pyramid if you don't have this piece. And if you're anywhere near that right now and building a team, remember some of the things that I talked to you about today. Thank you very much. I'm going to bring Greg on up now.